The Supreme Personality of Godhead has unlimited names, and all of His names are full of transcendental potency. There are many different names of the Lord. In fact, He has unlimited names. Some groups say He has 99 names, some say 1,000 names, some more than that. Actually, He has unlimited. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam, because He has unlimited forms. That's one reason He has so many names. Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha. You've heard of the Das Avatar, 10 incarnations of the Lord. Matsya, Kurma, Rama, different incarnations. And the number of incarnations is compared to the number of waves in the ocean. How many waves are there in the ocean? There's no limit. There's millions of universes, and in each universe, the Lord visits for His pastimes, and then there's the spiritual world with millions of Vaikuntha planets, and the Lord is there in His expansions of Narayan, and He appears, He expands into everyone's heart as Paramatma, Antaryami, Super Soul, and He even enters into the atoms, Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam. And He has so many pastimes. His names, sometimes His names describe His beauty or His activities. And sometimes His names describe His greatness or His pastimes or in relationship with His devotees. Just like Yashoda Nandana, He's the darling of Yashoda. Yashoda is His devotee, His mother. She's playing the part of His mother. And so Krishna likes to be identified with His devotees. Those are the Radharaman, he likes to have. These names are especially important. So what is the value of chanting the names? Well, because the name of the Lord is absolute. It has the exact same potency as does the Lord Himself. Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Binnadvam Nami Namino. There's no difference between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His name. So, just as if it was announced on the internet and on the television that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was making a visit to Earth planet, it would be a big thing. Some people would go there to worship Him, and some would probably go there to try to shoot Him or something like that. At least some would want to film Him at least on their phones or something, just for the sake of the grandchildren. But anyway, so the name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the same. So when his name is appearing, it's a big thing. And in this age, Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatar, the Lord appears especially in the form of his holy name. In other yugas, it's like the last yuga, Krishna appeared directly. Dvibhuja, Shama Sundar. And in the age before that, he appeared as Lord Ramachandra. And different ages, he appears in different incarnations. But in Kali Yuga, he appears primarily in the form of his holy name. Although he also appears as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a devotee in disguise, Chandravatar. And at the end of the age, he appears as Kalki Avatar. So, the same benefit that one gets when he comes in contact with the Supreme Bhagavan, he gets when he comes in contact with the name. By chanting or hearing, chanting and hearing is very good. So what happens is Cheto Darpanam Arjanam. The lower tendencies means the envy, the things that we don't like about ourselves, or we shouldn't like about ourselves. When we're envious, if we see someone's success and we think, oh, I wish he would break his leg or something. That's a lower. We think he's getting so much appreciation. Look, she's wearing that beautiful diamond bracelet. I wish it was on my wrist, not on her wrist. So, these types of things. Or we have some ill thoughts or misbehavior. So these things all get purified. Why? Because Krishna's apapavidam. He's so pure. Not only is he pure, he's compared to the sun. Krishna Surya Sama Mayahaya Andhakar Jahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Mayada Adhikara. The sun dispels all the darkness. So similarly, Krishna gets rid of all darkness, all ignorance. And all these different names, they're names of Krishna. Because when we say Vishnu Sahasranam, Vishnu is an expansion of Krishna. It's described in the Bhagavatam, Ete Changsa Kala Pungsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakalam Lokam Hridayante Yuge Yuge. The first expansion is Balaram, Baladev, and from Balaram, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudev. Then the second Chaturvyuha, and then the three Vishnu expansions, Narayan expansion, and this way then the different incarnations. Just like Nrsingadev. Nrsingadev, half man, half lion. We may think that Nrsingadev is more powerful than Krishna because Krishna is just, he's just a young boy. And Nrsingadev was huge and he had so many arms and he had big nails. But that Nrsingadev is the same Krishna. When Prahlad Maharaj was being threatened by his father that now I'm going to kill you, and if you say that there's another God other than me, let him come and try to protect you. I'd like to see it. And then he crashed his fist against the pillar and he said, so if your God is everywhere as you say, then he must be in this pillar. Correct, Prahlad? Prahlad said, yes. And he said, oh, so then he should be able to come and protect you if he's in this pillar. And watch as I smash this pillar. Now when Prahlad looked in the pillar, he saw Krishna, because he hadn't revealed that form yet. So he was seeing Krishna, but then when he came out, it was Narasingha, half man, half lion. He takes different forms for his different activities. You know the story, he had to appear as half man, half lion to keep intact the promises made by Brahma. And he appeared as fish incarnation because the whole universe was flooded. There was an inundation and everything was covered with water, so fish was the best type of incarnation for that situation. And he kept the Vedas on a boat. He protected the Vedas. And when the earth fell down into the Garbhodak ocean, the best type of incarnation was a boar, because a boar can go into a muddy, filthy place. He's got his snout. So he went down there and on his tusks he lifted up the earth from that place. And he was also able to fight with Hiranyaksha. So, hearing Krishna's names, chanting Krishna's names, the names of Vishnu, they have so much potency. It's a process of self-realization. Just kirtanam, chanting these holy names. Actually, chanting those names is the most important activity that we can do. It's like when we chant Hare Krishna, we're doing the most important thing that we can do in our life. We may say so many other things, speak so many things, but they won't have the benefit that chanting has. So therefore it's recommended, Shravanam Kirtanam, Smaranam Vishnu Parasevanam. The more we chant, the more we get free from the modes of ignorance and passion, and our heart becomes purified, and we become qualified to go back to the spiritual world. And we're chanting the names of Krishna because we're glorifying Him. You don't sing someone's name unless you have some respect for them. If someone asks you they'd like to sing a song about someone that you don't like or you don't respect, you'll say, I'm not going to sing that song. I don't want to do it. That's why some people, they don't want to chant the names of the Lord, because they don't have respect or love. But if we do chant, we can, and the singing, everyone likes to sing. We like to make some sound. So, singing is a very easy way, or chanting and with different shlokas. When the gopis were serving Krishna, and sometimes Krishna would be out in the pasturing grounds with the cows and the calves. But even though he wasn't there, they would be churning the butter and they'd be singing his glories. That Krishna killed the Aristasura demon, Krishna killed Putana, Krishna was stealing butter. Even though it was their butter, they're appreciating that Krishna is the butter thief, Damodar. So this is a very auspicious activity, and the more we engage in this, the more our lives become purified, and we become Krishna conscious. And we also develop our love for Krishna. We have love for other things, or so-called love for other things, but that type of love will not endure. Just like I love my car, but my car will not endure. Or I love my friend or my dog, but there will be some separation. Whereas when we develop our love for Krishna, then that's an eternal, that's the actual function, the natural constitutional position of every living entity is to have love for Krishna. When we don't have love for Krishna, it means spiritually we're in a diseased state. We're supposed to be lovers of Krishna. So, Krishna consciousness movement is to reactivate. We've kind of, our account has lapsed, and we have stopped engaging in our loving service to Krishna. So now we have a chance to reactivate the account with no penalties. And in fact, Krishna is so kind that we get all kinds of rewards for reactivating. Thank you very much. If there's any questions, we can.
I have one question.
No.
You mentioned that by chanting the name of the Lord, all the impurities in the heart go away. So how long does it take for the impurities to go away? And what impurities, by you mean what impurities will be gone?
As far as how long it takes, it depends on the chanting intensity. If one is very enthusiastic in chanting and very adamant, sincere, then one can reach perfection in just a moment. It doesn't have to take millions of years. But if one holds on to material attachments, then it can take longer. Well, not can, it will take longer. And as far as the things that are removed, the lust, the greed, the anger, the fear, the illusion, the madness, etc., goes on and on. All those things get removed. Enetio Shadimara Nashibara Lagi Harinama Mahamantra Laotumi Magi. The medicine for all the diseases in the material world is the chanting of the holy names. So we can get rid of all diseases. Someone? Yeah?
Alright, my question is kind of silly, but it really kind of somehow bothers me. like I'm driving, let's say I'm going to work and I'm chanting, I have my japa on my hands and I'm driving, and I know like you're chanting Krishna's name and you're trying to glorify his name, but then there are just some instances that someone, like I almost got in an accident, someone almost hit me, like the other day someone almost hit me, and I can't help it, but like you're chanting is supposed to be in good consciousness, but then you're chanting and then you said like, oh Krishna, and then you say F or the S word, like, I mean, you're supposed to be at that, you're supposed to be in a good mood, but it seems like something like that happened and you can't help it. So like, how, am I like somehow committing a great aparad for that? I mean, I know my consciousness is somehow kind of like suddenly shifted 360. So how would I don't know, it's not like how would I justify it, but how would I kind of like have a better approach?
Well, first thing is I would suggest when you do chant, you don't use japa beads when you're driving. That's not a safe way to drive. And as far as when you're chanting, then yes, but then something comes up and then you forget. So temporarily you forget, but you're forgetting less often than you used to forget when you didn't chant. So you're using those words less, and soon you'll stop using them altogether. When your heart becomes more, shall we say, to a higher level of consciousness, and you'll see what is the need for these. And as I'm getting angry, and I'm expressing my anger, but you'll find that you don't get angry so much. In Krishna consciousness, actually we don't get angry. What's there to be angry about? If Krishna is the supreme controller, he's controlling everything, and he's the permitter. Anumanta, upadrashta. Anumanta means he's the permitter. Upadrashta, he's the overseer. So if he's allowing everything to happen, then what is there to be angry about? And who would I be getting angry at? Now if I say, I'm getting angry at that man who cut me off while I was driving, I'm angry at him, and I'm saying these words, well, he doesn't even hear it. Well, of course you could make some gestures and he might see your gestures or something. Or he might make a vibration and try to put some kind of a whammy on him. Or maybe curse him. Yes, you could try to curse him. But when you curse someone, if you have enough spiritual potency to curse someone, then your potency reduces. You use up some of your, just like even if you wanted, let's say you're one of your neighbors, you really wanted to do something evil towards him. So you wanted to have his trees cut down and his fence broken, and you paid someone. Well, it costs you money to do that. So your balance goes down. So even if you want to curse someone, you lose your whatever spiritual benefits you had, you lose some of them. And a devotee thinks, well, Krishna's so kind, he saved me. Krishna, instead of cursing, you should think, Krishna, thank you so much for saving me from that dangerous event. Just like, what did the residents of Vrindavan do when Krishna was attacked by the Trinavarta demon and stolen, taken up into the sky?
They were so worried about him.
Yes, when they found him, they immediately started chanting mantras for his protection. So they weren't thinking so much about Trinavarta, they were thinking more about Krishna. Srindavarta tried to kill Krishna. So, I wouldn't say it's an offense, because you're sincerely trying to practice Krishna consciousness. Maybe it's an offense, but in the beginning we may be offensive in our chanting, but the chanting is so powerful that even though we're making offenses, we're still getting purified. And not only are we getting purified, but we're gradually coming to the stage of the second stage, which is called the clearing stage of chanting, where one is not committing offenses, but he's not necessarily in the pure consciousness yet. But if we keep chanting, and we try our best, then try our best means we try to keep ourselves fully engaged in devotional service all the time. And gradually you'll find that you don't have enmity towards others. You don't see, well, what is... Because even, let's say he cut me off, and he even causes me an accident. So, what does it mean? Well, we can say it's either my karma, that's supposed to happen to me because I have some debts from my past life that I have to pay back, and that's one of them. Or, you could say that Krishna has arranged it. You might say, why would Krishna do a horrible thing like that to cause me harm? Well, first of all, Krishna doesn't cause harm. He only causes good. It's like a doctor, or you go to a dentist and he says, that tooth has got to come out. You say, doctor, why would you do that to me? Why would you? I know, I've heard from my friends that when a tooth is pulled, it causes great pain. I thought you were a good man. I came here with all good hopes that you were a good man. People said you were a good man. Now I'm so disappointed that you want to cause me pain like this. And so what will the dentist say? He'll say, my dear patient, if I don't pull that tooth out, it's going to cause you so much more pain. There's no comparison. Today I'm going to give you Novocaine, and it'll be a little bit of pain, but if I leave it in, it's going to cause you pain like you've never experienced. Throbbing, excruciating pain. So I'm trying to help you. So we should see it like that whatever happens to us, it's by the grace of Krishna that it's not worse. Is there another question?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I have to just a little bit rewind. What is the reference for the verse about the holy name being the medicine?
That's from a song by Srila Bhakti Thakur.
Okay, so I'll find it in the Vishnu songbook, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, and then the other question. How does a person, different people worship the Lord in a different form? So some people worship Lord Ram, they prefer, or they have an attraction towards Lord Ram, and some people to Krishna, and some people to maybe Lord Narasimha or Lord Vishnu. And so how does it matter to one if they sing a glorification of one form of the Lord or the other? Like right now we cited Vishnu Satsang, but maybe one is more attracted to Lord Ram, and then another time we recite the Ramayana or something. So how does one take that, or is that just like the feeling one gets when they recite different names of the Lord?
Ishtadeva, so our worshipable deity, who's in our heart, because we know that Ram is not different than Krishna, is not different than Vishnu, is not different than Varaha. So we may have, just like at the time of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was the third brother of Rupa and Sanatan. His name was Vallabha. He was also a great devotee, but he was a devotee of Lord Ramachandra. So the two other brothers, Rupa and Sanatan, they said, why don't you worship Radha Krishna? Why are you worshipping Lord Ramachandra? And he said, okay, tomorrow I'll begin worshipping Radha Krishna. So that night, he tried to go to sleep, but he couldn't sleep all night. He was crying all night. He woke up, and he didn't wake up because he didn't go to sleep, but next morning he went to them and he apologized. He said, I can't do it. I can't give up the worship of Lord Ramachandra. He knew that Lord Ramachandra is not different than Krishna. He knew that Lord Chaitanya is Ramachandra, is Radha Krishna. And so he was praised. Lord Chaitanya praised him. That his devotion to Lord Ramachandra was very great. So there's no difference.
So we can recite. It should
Yeah.
make a difference to recite different kinds of glorifications, different forms.
Yes, in fact, Lord Nityananda, when he was young, it says in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that he used to organize dramas of Lord Ramachandra. That was his favorite. And he would get all of his boyfriends, all the friends of his age, to participate in these dramas. He would give them the parts and the lines. So, it doesn't mean that he wasn't Krishna conscious. Krishna means Krishna and his expansions. So, that's Krishna consciousness.
One more question, Maharaj. Does spirituality mean to not having material attachments? Because that gets very difficult for us in practical life. We need to be attached to certain things to get certain things done. Say we are attached to the family, we are attached to the kids. It's our responsibility. And maybe I'm attached to my car, I'm taking a good care of it, I'm not leaving it on the road causing disturbance. I'm attached to certain things. So does spirituality mean not having material attachment?
Spirituality means having spiritual attachments. Why not make everything spiritual? In other words, it becomes spiritualized when Krishna is put in the center. Ishavasyamidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tena bunjita magadha kashasvidanam. When he's put in the center, then that thing becomes spiritualized. For example, if Krishna is put into a home, let's say a building, we have an ordinary building made of bricks. Okay, it's just an ordinary building. It might even be a barn. You install Krishna there, it becomes a temple, it becomes spiritual. And it's like some music. So someone likes a certain type of music. Okay. Now, if he takes the melody and he puts the Maha Mantra in instead of the words that were there, it becomes spiritual. Okay, your car. So if you're thinking that I'm using this car for material purposes, that's material. But if that car is used for the service of Krishna, it becomes spiritual. So the spiritual master teaches how to engage everything in Krishna's service. That's the science of Bhakti Yoga. How to yagyartat karmanon yatra loko yam karma bandhana tarartam karma konte mukta sangha samacha. How to make one's work sacrifice for Krishna, for Vishnu. To act in the consciousness that I'm doing everything for Krishna's pleasure. Everything I'm doing for his pleasure. That's a higher principle than doing everything for my country's pleasure or doing everything for my personal body pleasure or my family. That's a higher, and it includes the other. It's like, for example, a tree. If you want to do something good for the leaves, and if you want to do something nice for the branches, and if you want to do something nice for all the fruits and the flowers, what do? Well, if you're intelligent, you put water on the root. You may say, well, you're putting water on the root, but you're neglecting the root, you're neglecting the flowers. They might say, you're such a fool. You're putting water down here and the poor flowers are up here. They're not getting any water. And what about the fruits? You want juicy fruits, don't you? Why are you putting all the water down here? Put the water up there. So then you'll say, no, it doesn't work that way. If I put water on those fruits up there, it'll just fall off and they won't get anything. But if I put water down here on the root takes the water and distributes it to all the branches, all the leaves, all the fruits. So if you serve Krishna, then all of your associates, all your family, all your own desires, your family, your nation, your earth planet, the environment, everything gets served by that one action. So we have to learn how to be fully Krishna conscious, then we can do the best service for everyone and everything. It's like putting water on the root. You don't have to serve. You don't have to put water on everything. Because that's the best service. Why? Because Krishna says, always serve me. And they say, well, isn't that selfish? It's not selfish. It's like if I say, give the food to the stomach distributes the food everywhere. Krishna wants everyone to serve him because that's best for them and best for everyone. It's not selfishness. And even if it is selfishness, it's in the benefit of everyone. He is the Supreme Self. He's the Atmatma. Any other? Okay, we can chant for a few minutes. Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda